Hello dear students, in our lesson today we are going to revise the passive voice. So the revision is going to be based on the tenses, on the basic tenses. Let's continue. So first of all, the passive voice refers to an action that has a specific focus. What is that? You are going to tell me after taking a look at the sentence. Do you recognize this picture? It's the Parthenon. So, the Parthenon was built in the 5th century before Christ. The Parthenon was built. What do we have here? The passive, of course. So, as you recognize, it is the verb to be in the past and the past participle. It was built. Ask yourselves, do we know by whom? Is it mentioned by whom? No, there is a reason why. Let's see another example. It is visited by thousands of tourists every year. It is visited. Present. The verb to be in the present. And again, the past participle. So, what do you recognize here? Where is the focus of these two sentences? The focus, of course, is on the action itself. So we focus on what happened. It was built and it is visited, and we're not really interested on who built it, because what is important is that this building, this exists, it was built. So all the focus is on the action and not the person. We can mention by thousands of tourists, yes, we can say that, but our focus is that it is visited by many, many tourists. All right, let's be now more specific on how the passive is formed and how are we going to change it from the active into the passive form. So, we are going to put the verb to be in the tense needed every time and the main verb in the past participle. What is that? Let's be specific for you to understand what we're saying. So, we are given the sentence, he delivers the parcels every day. We have the subject, we have the verb, and we have the object. In order for us to create a passive form, we take the object and this object becomes subject. So, let's see once again. Our object has become the subject, the parcels, are the verb to be in the present, and our past participle, delivered. Could you please think of that? People eat a lot of rice in China. Find the object first of all. That is rice or a lot of rice. We put it as a subject, a lot of rice, and now we need the passive in the present simple. A lot of rice, what? You need a present form of the verb to be. That is of course. A lot of rice is eaten, our verb, our main verb, in the past participle. A lot of rice is eaten in China. Let's move on with the present continuous. He is delivering the parcels at the moment. Present continuous is delivering. So, the parcels again, the object becomes subject. The verb to be in the present continuous are being. So, this is the verb to be in the present continuous and the past participle of the main verb. So, the verb to be, are being, and the past participle delivered. Think of this, please. The worker is repairing the roof now. First of all, we find what? The object that has become the subject, the roof. Then, what do we need? The present continuous of the verb to be. That is being, of course. The roof is being. Only this is the form to be. And our verb is repair, so in the past participle, repaired. Is being repaired. By whom? By the worker. Let's move on and see now another tense. We're going to deal with the past simple. So, let's take the same sentence but in the past now. He delivered the parcels yesterday. We can see that our main verb is in the past simple, delivered. So we need the past simple of the verb to be. So the parcels again. The verb to be now in the past. Were. I was, you were, he was. So the verb to be in the past, were. And the past participle, delivered. The parcels were delivered. When? Yesterday. Again, you can see that the focus is on the action. It's always there. The focus is always on the action, not on the person who did that. That's why we don't write in the end, by him. We don't know who delivered the parcels, but we care about the fact that they were delivered. She typed 10 letters yesterday. Come on, I want you to find it out. It's easy. So 10 letters, the object that has become the subject. 10 letters. Find the past, please. What? What is the past of the verb to be? Don't forget. Always keep in mind the verb to be. The past is were, of course, because it is in plural. So, 10 letters, were. Our main verb, typed, were typed yesterday. We don't say by her. We don't know who did that. All right? We can say that, but in brackets, or we don't write it at all. Let's move on with the past continuous. He was delivering the parcels yesterday morning. Was delivering. Past continuous. So, we take the object that becomes the subject, the parcels. Were being is the past continuous of the verb to be. So, only this is the verb to be. And this is the past participle of the main verb. So, were being, past continuous of the verb to be, and our main verb delivered yesterday morning. Please try this one out. She was washing the dishes at 9 o'clock last night. So, the object, the dishes, has become the subject. The dishes, past continuous. Put the verb to be in the past continuous. The dishes were being. This is the past continuous of the verb to be. And wash, that has become washed. The dishes were being washed. Let's move on and let's see the present perfect. So, he has delivered 5 parcels so far. Has delivered, present perfect. 5 parcels, here it is, the object becomes the subject. The verb to be in the present perfect, have been, present perfect, have been. And then our main verb in the past participle. So as you can see, the past participle of the verb does not change. The only change is in the tense, is in the verb to be. So, is delivered, was delivered, has been delivered. The past participle is always the same. The only change is here in the verb to be. They have already cleaned the windows. Don't forget, we are talking about the present perfect. So, the windows, the object that has become the subject, and then we need the present perfect. The windows have already been cleaned. Have been, the present perfect of the verb to be, and the past participle cleaned. We don't say by them because it's not what our focus is on. We focus on the action, not the person who did it, since we don't have the name of that person as well. Past perfect. He had delivered the parcels before I came. Had delivered. Past perfect. Had done that in the past, before something else. So the parcels, the object that has become the subject, had been now, past perfect of the verb to be, had been, and the past participle delivered, had been delivered before I came. Please check this out. They had posted the letters by noon. So the letters, put the verb to be in the past perfect like this. It's the same in the past perfect. So the letters had been, and of course posted. Had been, the verb to be in the past perfect, and posted, the past participle. We're going to see two more tenses. So the future simple, first of all. When we're talking about the future, the word will comes directly to our minds. He will deliver the parcels tomorrow. So the parcels, since we have the word will be. So the verb to be in the future, will be delivered. Again, this does not change. As we said, the past participle does not change. Just the future form here. We have the future form of the verb to be. And this is very easy for you. Miss Jones will look after the baby. So the baby, what? We have will, put the verb to be in the future. The baby will be looked after. Will be, the future form of will, and the past participle of look, that is, looked, of course. And our final example, we're talking about modals. Modals could be different words. May, might, can, could, shall, will, have to. Now, let's take one example with the word might. But don't forget, we need to put the verb to be in the form that has got the modal. So, he might deliver the parcels today. The parcels, as we said, the object has become the subject. We have might here. We say might be. If it was could be. If it was, for example, must be. Have to be. So we keep the modal and we put the verb be as well. And our past participle delivered that we said that does not change. And they could fix the bike today. As we said, keep the modal verb and put the verb to be. The bike, the object that has become the subject, could be, as we said, fixed, the past participle of the verb fix today. And now, for you to practice, the teacher has written on the board, let's imagine that we have on the board this sentence. The roof is repaired. We have a passive form, right? Is repaired. What? The roof is repaired. Okay, now it is in the passive form. And what tense? In the present simple, of course. So the teacher now is asking different students about different time expressions. So, how is this sentence going to be last year? And one of the students raises his or her hand and says, the roof, what? The roof is going to be put in the past, so the roof was repaired last year. So, in the present is repaired, in the past, last year, in the past, was repaired. The teacher gives another prompt, so she wants to test how, if the students understood the passive. And she says, what about next month? How are we going to change this sentence? Next month refers, of course, to the future. So, since it is in the future, we're going to use a future simple form. And the student answers, the roof will be repaired next month. So, will be is the future form. Repaired has remained the same as we said, but it is in the future. It is next month. And one more prompt that the teacher gives. What about at present? What tense are we going to use if we have the time expression at present? Of course, we're going to use the present continuous. So it's happening now, at present. So the student again raises her hand and she's saying, the roof, at present, don't forget, is being repaired at present. So, to conclude, in order for us to create a passive form, we need to think, first of all, what tense are we going to use? A past simple tense, a future simple tense, a present continuous tense, the first thing. Then we put the verb to be in that tense, was, the verb to be in the past, will be, the verb to be in the future, or is being, the verb to be in the present continuous, because it's happening now. And finally, we put the past participle, repaired. That does not change, we said, in the different situations. Don't worry, because we are going to deal with the passive voice even more specifically in our lessons that we're going to have. Thank you for paying attention.